finish this track. She wanna smoke and get high, loving the vibe. She want me rubbing the fire. She want me there, know where the guys. Begging me, can you stay for the night? No strings attached. Give her what she wants, I'ma put her on the back. She working on me.
What's going on, guys? I just want to make a quick video on why I use no contact work when it comes to snatch and cleans, why you might want to use it and why we use it with some of the running athletes. So the main reason that I use no contact work, and I should kind of like give it a little bit of a caveat before you do this. Before you start using no contact work, you need to make sure that you actually know how to contact the bar properly. So if you don't contact it very well already, there's no point using no contact work because it's kind of almost what you do. It's too similar to what you already do in the main lift, and it might actually distort things further. If you have it to the point where like you're not a beginner anymore, like you're what you call a non-beginner or like an intermediate, you tend to know consistently what bar contact should feel like, and your problems tend to be that the bar swings out, you struggle with crashing in the clean, you struggle with crashing in the snatch, you struggle with the bar path loop, and you feel like you're not very good at turning under the bar, you kind of just hit and hope, then no contact work might be for you. So the reasons that I started using it and the reasons I'll use it with some of my lifters is if you're very, very dependent on speed and mobility. So I'm very much, if you've watched me lift, you'll know that I don't really tend to do very much at the top of the lift. I'll smash my hips into the bar and I turn under. Well, turn under is a generous word. I just jump underneath the bar. So I very much try to use speed, power and bar contact to get the lift done. Whereas no contact work depends more on having a better back angle off the floor. You have to be more patient with the pull, and you have to be stronger through the pull because the bar is going to move slower. And then actually you have to get the bar higher. Like I would say, if that's a normal snatch, you only have to contact it to here. A no contact snatch, you're going to have to get higher, and you actually have to be faster to turn under. So for me, it improves your bar path, it improves your position off the floor, because if you don't get the position right off the floor for a no contact snatch, a lot of the time you're just not going to be able to get it because it's going to throw the bar out. Then also it makes that portion between hip contact and actually turning under the bar, so landing to actually fixating the bar overhead, that turn over or turn under phase of the lift, so between second pull and receiving position, it makes that part of the lift faster. It makes you conscious of what's going on there because it's exaggerating your need to use your arms and your upper body. So then it will make you pay attention to that more. So if you find that the bar crashes and cleans a lot and loops out, like I said, if you find that the bar crashes or loops out a lot and snatches, you don't keep your butt down very well off the floor and your bar path's a bit loopy, no contact work will be very, 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 very useful. The main things you need to do is remember when you're doing it is that it's a bit of an oxymoron, but you're not going to contact the bar to your hip or to your thigh when you're doing it clean, but you are going to try and keep as close as possible. So literally, I always think of it, I'm not trying to touch my hips, but I'm almost trying to take my nips off when I actually go either overhead with the bar for the snatch or turn under for the clean. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm strong through the first portion of the lift. So as in like basically from the floor to what would be the hip contact position. So basically past the hip. And then I'm trying to be fast when the bar actually gets to the right height. So that's the key things to remember. Obviously there's the reasons why I use it, and then there's the key cues. Making sure that you pull the bar straight, you have a good back position off the floor, and actually being patient and turning under. I try to think about turning under when the bar literally slows down to almost a complete dead stop, because then that's letting you get the bar to maximum height, but then it's also teaching you to have the bottle to go under a heavier weight. So the way that I personally program them in for me is I almost use them basically every time I snatch or clean and jerk. For snatches, I will warm up to a certain amount of weight with either no contact muscle, no contact power, and no contact full, or I'll do no contact power snatch, then no contact full snatch, and then a full snatch or whatever. But I'll basically do no contact up to the point where like I basically think, well, I'm not really going to be able to no contact snatch the next weight very well, so now I'll swap to contacting with the hips, and that always makes my turn under and my bar path a lot cleaner when I do that. With cleans, I would tend to do the same thing. My favourite way to use the no contact stuff will be to do either a no footwork or just a normal no contact power clean into a full clean and jerk. And I don't know why, but that transfer just made things a lot easier in terms of made my pull smoother, it made my turnover smoother, just that complex, rather than doing a no contact clean. Because the no contact clean, me personally anyway, I still feel like I can just pull it and dive under it. Whereas a no contact power clean, especially a no footwork or no stomping one, I actually have to actually pay attention to what I'm doing from hip to kind of past my chest. So that would be my advice on how you can use no contact stuff and when you might want to implement it. When you might not want to implement it is if you're already very upper body dominant, so you know how to kind of save a lift because you've got a lot of strength in your upper body. Like let's say your push press is quite strong, your deadlifts are quite strong, but maybe you're not the fastest lifter and you're not the leggiest of lifters, so you don't have a giant squat, you don't use your leg power very well, then no contact work would almost exaggerate what it is you're trying to do. It's the same way as I'm not going to go and do a load of John North's hit catch drills and some of his contact drills because that's already what I'm good at. I don't need any more of that. Same as I'm not going to do tons and tons and tons and tons and tons